My name is Carl,
My name is Oscar,
and this is Who Would Watch This?
where we review bad films and decide who would watch this.
Well, apart from us.
Okay, Carl, what are we going to be talking about today?
Today, Oscar, we're going to be talking about Speed 2 Cruise Control. Currently has an IMDb score of 3.9, a Letterboxd rating of 1.8, a Rotten Tomatoes rating of 4%, and it is currently ranked at 93 on IMDb's bottom 100. Oscar, what's the plot?
A computer hacker breaks into the computer system of the Seabourn Legend cruise liner and sets it to speed on a collision course into a gigantic oil tanker. It is also the sequel to Speed, which has Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock on a bus today.
Sandy B.
Sandy B.
Ugh. Alright. Off the bat, we need to ban doing 2-hour films. I can't do it anymore.
We need to ban films that are over... Yeah, it really sucks.
Like, I was like, after we collided, it was okay. It was like an hour 40, like hour 45.
Yeah, whenever I see hour 40, I'm like, fuck,
Nice.
that's rough.
If you're at the 100-minute mark, it's like, oof.
Double digits, like, already gets you an extra half star.
Oh my god, I saw that. It actually does. Like, I was ranking all of the ones we've reviewed.
Yeah.
And I just kept on being like, I'd rather watch this than that, simply because it's shorter.
It is
I
shorter.
went down and it just kept dropping, and I was like, wow, you're below Ballistic X vs. Sever. Simply because that was like 80 minutes.
That's the thing, it goes quick. There was a fun stunt scene. You're going, it was
God.
okay.
Speaking of stunts, too many stunts in this, but
Not
also
enough.
not enough. Alright, so Oscar, thoughts on the first film?
I'm a big fan. I think it's great. I think it's a lot. It's silly, but it knows it's silly, and as a result, then it's really clever.
Yeah, it
And
does.
it's
It actually
fantastic.
is. I rewatched it in anticipation. Watched it with somebody who had never seen it before. He really liked it.
Yeah.
It's incredibly well directed. It shocks me it's the same director as this one.
The editing. Is
Yeah,
fantastic.
it got nominated for best editing at the Oscars.
Did it?
Yeah, like it's so, and everything's practical. The locations are really cool. I don't know where they like did all that. It just looked it's just so good. And you
it's
got two
cheap.
good leads.
And it's cheap as well.
Yeah, it's like under $30 million
Yeah.
to make. There is a stunt in this that cost the entirety
The
of the
budget,
first movie.
Which is...
It's not even a good stunt.
Oh,
it's
no.
slow and boring. Whoever decided this to set it on the slowest vehicle in mankind.
Because I jumping into this thought it'd be the exact same plot as Speed. That the boat has to keep the same
Yeah, the boat's
speed.
not allowed to slow down.
Yeah, but it's not that.
It's also like it's like a boat can just turn away from land. They've got so many things contrived to
We're
make sure
jumping into Carl. People don't know what Speed 2's about. What's Speed 2 Cruise Control? Real quick, that name's the most clever part of the film.
Well, you see, you just said it then, and I went. It should have been called Speed 2 Collision Course.
No, Cruise Control's genius because it's set on a cruise. Actually, no, it's not genius because the first film's about keeping your speed. Cruise Control.
The first film's actually genius.
Yeah.
This has a genius subtitle. That's where we're at.
But it's not a genius because the whole plot isn't about keeping the boat going cruise control. It's about slowing it down.
It's on a cruise.
It's being cruised down.
Are there good boat movies? I like the first Poseidon Adventure, the original one.
I can't believe off the top of your head you know many boat movies. I couldn't think
Like
Pirates of the
Titanic?
Caribbean. This is the same year as Titanic. Does that feel
Wild.
weird? Which is weird.
Because it's like the budget. So what's the budget? Like
160 million.
gross.
Yeah.
Like so moronic. I love the fact that it was supposed to be a Die Hard.
Yeah, it's maybe the third Die Hard, which makes sense.
Yeah.
We'll get into the plot of it soon, but it feels like if it was just a Die Hard 3, I'd kind of give it a bit of leeway.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, you know what's funny is that this was a Die Hard script. Well, it's like, because there was Die Hard, which started so many movies trying to be like Die Hard.
Yeah.
Speed is one of those movies pitched as Die Hard on a bus, directed by the cinematographer of Die Hard. And then this was supposed to be a Die Hard film, reworked to be Speed 2, and then a Lethal Weapon movie was reworked to be Die Hard 3. And that's
what a
where we're
weird
at.
mess. It's crazy. It makes it almost feel every film should feel cheaper. That just there's so interchangeable.
Yeah, there's so interchangeable. If you're like, well, if you watch like Die Hard 3, I think is good because it's inherently not Die Hard.
Is it the hacker one?
No, Die Hard 3 is the one where it's Simon Says.
And is it the guy who's like kind of, is the nerdy guy is like who they're chasing?
No,
Is
that's
that the fourth one?
Yeah. Die Hard 3 is like...
Oh no, Samuel L. Jackson, and it's quite
Samuel
fun.
Jackson.
Yeah, no, it's quite good.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
like,
they're a good pair.
Yeah, and it's like...
Is that maybe Lethal Weapon?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think it was a spec script called Simon Says, then was made to become Lethal Weapon, that was then made to become Die Hard 3.
Wild.
Yeah, but also, I think that's the second best Die Hard.
Yeah.
And then I think it's still better than any of the sequels to Lethal Weapon. So that's where we're at.
That's where we're at.
Anyway, Speed!
Speed 2, Cruise Control.
It's the most...
How do we open with a... oh, God. All right. Let's get into the film.
Yep. Where's Keanu?
He's not here.
Constantly I was like, where's Keanu?
I don't know. Where's what's it called? Sandra B. What's her character in this?
My God. This is one of the worst written female characters ever. She is, watching the first one, she's so actively involved.
Yeah. Doing
stuff. She's driving the bus. She's like, trying to make sure she gets away from pedestrians. She's dealing with the fact she's seen someone die for the first time.
Yeah.
She's actively doing things and reacting to
things. And
she's
important to the plot.
Yeah, and she's working together with Keanu Reeves. It's basically like Keanu Reeves wouldn't be able to do this without Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock wouldn't be able to do this without Keanu Reeves. It's good, working together.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Alex is insane. He's the villain. He's the villain.
He's the villain of this movie. I'm glad that we both wrote the same thing, because I constantly went, he's killed those people. As far as I'm concerned, William Defoe's the hero.
William Defoe's definitely the hero. He starts... Okay, let's get into the plot. We're going too ahead. How does it open? With the coolest motherfucker you've ever seen. Alex on a bike.
Alex. The lion! Rawr!
The policeman is like, hey Alex, no stunts this time, okay? And then immediately wheelies off to stop an ice cream ice cream van?
Oh my God, this is... it's one of my favorite things, because it's intercut with Sandra Bullock being like, I broke up with Keanu, which apparently did terribly with audience reactions, critical reactions, and when they did test screenings.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to kill off the character or write him out of it or just replace the actors in case Keanu ever wanted to come back. So they did this, and I'm like, it's not good. Because I was like, I like the two. I wouldn't make this without Keanu.
No.
And it's not like Keanu's so good in the first one. It's just that, like...
Just plot-wise. Replace him. I prefer it to replace him.
Well, I think Keanu Reeves, like... In the films he is in, he, like, pushes directors to, like... do more in terms of a director's like, and then we'll do this. And he's like, why? Why would you do that? How about you just put me on a fucking rig and we'll just
I'll just jump.
Yeah.
I'll just fucking jump.
And they're like, oh, okay, well that saves like 9 pages. Like, it's one of those things, like the first Speed.
Whereas Alex causes more issues. The film is now an extra 40 minutes longer because of Alex.
Yeah. Alex is terrible. Also, Sandra Bullock's like in her driving test.
Yes.
And is basically like... talking to this guy like she's his therapist.
Yeah, it's very weird, isn't it? Because, like, the old man's like, you're failing your driving test because she's bad at driving, because remember the first one, Carl.
She also refuses to pull over for a police. Is that not a rule in America?
Super illegal. I don't care. Like, it's...
In Australia.
It's a law. No way it's not. No way that's not the
But then I went, I've never seen people pull over in, like, films for, like, sirens. Have you?
Normally the people driving on the side. No, I've never seen. What film are you watching? It's like, oh, gotta go left. There's some action going over there. We need to think about this over here.
I'm watching Sirens, the mermaid film.
There's a lot of sirens in that film. Not mermaids though.
Can you imagine if sirens were just mermaids, just screeching at the top of a fucking police vehicle?
I wish they were in Speed 2 and they were part of the boat.
Oh, could you imagine if this movie just went mermaids? They're real in this.
I think it could work.
I think it could. It'd be better. There are a lot of moments where I went, "Is this going to get supernatural?" Because it has such bad reviews. I went, "Is it going to become supernatural?"
I thought, yes, because
here's the thing: they were flat out just going to be like, William Defoe was dead the entire time, or is a spirit. I would have been like, makes sense.
Yeah,
I get
he's
that.
Nuts.
The way he's behaving, like he's not a real human being.
I think he's owning it. Anyway, so Sandra Bullock is doing a driving test. Yeah. Alex is doing wheelies, stopping an ice cream truck, which just has so many boxes.
Oh yeah,
flying out.
Here's my favorite thing. Like, there's car accidents. They almost kill the ice cream man driver.
Yeah.
The car rolls down a hill. His motorbike goes to shit.
Yeah.
She then coalesces with this like action sequence, crashes into more cars, and it's all for some computers.
Is
Stolen computers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. All that for some stolen computers. The ice cream man stole some computers, so they flipped him off a cliff.
Oh my god!
They said
there were like 40 a wall of cops
think
with
he'd
guns.
done a murder.
I thought he murdered the president. I thought he put him in a little box and thrown him off it.
Literally, they went. We were able to recover some of the stolen computers.
Is that foreshadowing for the film?
I don't know. It's like the other guy's level of introduction when it's like $100 million of damage for like an ounce of weed. That's what this feels like.
But it's not a comedy. Anyways, so then we're like on land and then just immediately smash cut. We're going on holiday.
Well, she's basically like, you lied to me. I didn't even realize you like did this.
We're a cop. I thought you were a traffic guy. And he's like, nah, I'm Stunt McGee.
I love it. She goes, I didn't realize you were part of the Suicide Squad, which is a line that floored me. I went, what?
Because, sure, it was made before the film, but that whole saying's now disgusting.
Oh, it is.
What are we?
Some kind of Suicide Squad? What are we? Some type of Speed 2 cruise control? I love it though, because he then... So it means that at the beginning of the day, he put tickets to a cruise in his pocket? Because after... literally, seconds after they've crashed cars and so much has happened, he takes them out and is like, don't worry, I'm going to take you away on a holiday. And she's like, you've lied to me. And I've just seen so much chaos like my ex-boyfriend.
Smash cut to the cruise.
To Jamaican music.
The music
The music is insane.
What do we think of Alex? Okay, I think Sandra Bullock's character has been like nerfed. She's so not
ruined her. I feel terrible for her.
Yeah.
She's flat out not in the third act.
No.
They've literally remove her from the third act.
It's crazy. And it feels like a Die Hard film. Because
she's still good.
Yeah.
I think she's still doing good. She's much better acting in the first one because I think she's given more to do.
Yeah.
I'm not dissing her acting in this.
No.
I just want that on record.
No. She said herself she phoned it in, though.
Oh, but like...
Why wouldn't you?
Here's the thing.
Actually, no, why would you? $25 million on a stunt, you can't go, fuck, what are we making?
And it only made, like, so little.
It made the budget.
Which
is a lot.
It opened to $12 million. Like, the first one made over $300 million on, like, a $30 million budget. Yeah. Wild.
Why do they jump up so much? Anyway.
Why would you pick a cruise? Why would you pick a cruise?
You should have a bus, honestly.
Oh, God. Anyway, Dante's taking pictures of them. Dante's the best character.
How do you introduce... How do you make your audience know that this character is going to be important? You make him... They get off the boat. He's like, my name's Dante. I'm going to take a picture of you. While they're walking off, they go, that's a weird guy. Dante goes, that's my name, Dante.
Dante's my name. I take photos of you. Remember, if you want those photos done, Dante. Dante's to call. 1-300 Dante. Dante's pig. That's me. That's what I'm named after. Dante. What's that name? He then teleports. Dante.
He holds for like 3 seconds. Like, is he the villain? I don't know what's going on.
It's like I knew William Defoe would be the villain.
Yeah.
But I went, Dante, he's a hustler. He's like, hey, I'll retake the photos again for $60. And I'm like, you've only taken photos.
God, he's such a weirdo, isn't he?
It's also great because he doesn't come back until suddenly
he's vital to the mission.
Anyway, William Defoe shows up. He has too much hair.
How dare you, Carl?
No, that's too much hair for
a man.
He
looked fucking gorgeous. I think he looks terrific. I think it's the best he's looked.
Do you ever like look at him and you're like, fuck, you do look like a goblin?
I thought he looked good. I thought he looked like a scary monster that could hold me. I could change him. He's how would you describe? He's playing it perfect, I think.
The ending of the movie, Sandra Bullock is like, no, I think I'm better off with you. And she flies away with William Dafoe.
I think it would work because anyway, Willem Dafoe is overacting to 1,000% and it works. No other comment on that. I think his character... Oh, do you want to go to the leech thing?
Yeah, let's do the leech thing now. So, nonsense. Pure nonsense. This is why I thought he was supernatural.
Yeah.
Because he's like, my little nurses.
Yeah.
And like puts them on him and they like start sucking his... And also, were they real leeches?
100%. I looked around, his other body had these little leech marks as well.
Like I couldn't
so
find...
he's done a lot of takes, I think.
Like I couldn't find it, but like they
You know
looked
he's-
and moved like real leeches.
Oh, there's no way. It's so much cheaper. Like what? Because you saw the CGI.
Yeah.
It's,
terrible.
it's definitely real leeches.
Yeah.
Knowing Willem Dafoe, he definitely put leeches on. He definitely did it for a week.
Yeah.
He probably got into it.
Wild. You know where all the blood probably came from? His giant cock.
Oh, let's chat about that. Have we seen it?
Oh, yes, I've seen Antichrist.
I've seen
but
it.
I think it's a fake cock. Is that the one where they were like, we had to use a prosthetic because we don't think people would believe your cock is this big?
Yeah. I saw
Wild.
a gif of him dancing naked. Whoi.
Where is it? Tell me when.
Stop.
No.
Yeah.
On the flop? Or is he dancing erect?
He was dancing and was flopping about. For the for the listener at home, Carl has widened his arms to about, I'd say 12 inches. It's 30 centimeters.
Wow.
It's pretty impressive.
It's wider than my head.
Yeah.
I could wear his dick like earmuffs.
Well, no, because then you have to go circumference. You're.
Surely they'd flop around to here. Look at him.
I don't want to get maths involved, but the radius of your
Here's
head.
the thing: if my ear was right up against the ball sack,
No, hang on. Let's do it real. Okay, to your nose to your forehead is 6 degrees.
hang on, let's get a ruler. All right, let's just say that we'll do it using this highlighter
It's
we
getting
have.
cut so quickly.
No, I'm editing. It's staying in. All right. So if it's what you reckon? It's 3 of these, or 2 of them.
Like 2.5.
Cool. So 1, 2, 3.
You feel foolish, don't you?
Okay, I have been proved wrong. Definitively, you could not.
He has a tiny cock, as we've now established. Willem Dafoe's flaccid cock cannot be worn as
Oh
headphones.
god, so many people must have done like sex scenes with him and been so confused.
Mm,
I love that it was phrased as a confusingly large cock.
it is. You can't look and go, fuck.
What did you see it for?
I looked it up because I was so. I watched. What was I watching? American Psycho.
Right.
And the conversation always comes up because when Willem Dafoe comes on screen, you go,
Is
fuck
he
you.
an American Psycho?
Yeah, he's the
seen the movie names.
investigator.
Oh wow. Have you seen Boondock Saints when he gender bends?
No, I haven't.
Ah.
Willem Dafoe. He's done this weird leech thing.
What a tangent.
What a tangent. He likes playing golf, doesn't he, Carl? He's a big
Yeah.
golf man. But what are these golf apparatuses actually?
Computers?
They're computers and bombs? I don't know.
I don't get
Seem very convoluted.
I don't get it, but they do introduce my least favorite character of the movie, which is that butler.
Oh god, he's lame, isn't
Here's
he?
the thing that really bugged me is like William Defoe kills like one person, and then he's like, this movie seems like they were told not to be violent.
Yeah.
It feels like that. In the first movie, the villain gets beheaded violently on a train.
He blows up like a lot of people. I remember like a lot of blood.
Yeah, there is like a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Like the first one's violent. This is not.
I think they've
It must get to like when it's over $100 million. They're like, no.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You have
Like,
to. We
yeah,
have to
we
hit
have to
this
get PG.
age bracket.
But it
now.
feels that because like no one really people die, but mainly because of Alex. But no one dies like on screen. Someone loses a hand, but doesn't actually.
No. One of my favorites, a Maori actor. He's in Star Wars and Once Were Warriors.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, he is in Star Wars. The one the guy's protecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he's in like lots of Star Wars stuff.
Go him.
He's good. I like him. He's he's fine in this. Every character's terrible. Every character's poorly written.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hate seeing Alex's face.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he was famous. He's not really famous.
No, I assumed it was Scott Speedman.
That's not
It's
real.
not
but
Scott
It's not
Speedman.
a real name.
Yes, it is.
Who's Scott Speedman?
I think he was supposed to be Wolverine, and then he was in Mission Impossible 2, and they cast Hugh Jackman instead.
Oh.
I think that's Scott Speedman. I know the name Scott
He
Speedman.
sounds like an action man. Are you sure he
Scott
isn't?
Speedman's a person, I think. I have a phone. I could look him up, but
I'd
maybe I would
rather
love him. I'd love him to be more of a myth. Oh, there we go. Scott Speedman.
That's
British
so-
Canadian actor.
He sounds so cool. Does he look cool?
He's in The Strangers, The Vow, The Captive, Underworld Evolution. Let's have a look at images of Scott Speedman.
You know what? He'd actually smash that film, actually, wouldn't he?
I wish Scott Speedman was in Speed too. Oh, because of Speed. That's probably why I kept thinking of Scott Speedman. Does that make me an idiot? Yes.
Not as much as this film, though.
His title's in his name.
Oh.
Anyway, he hacks a cruise. What of it? There's $1 million diamonds on the boat.
Yeah,
Why?
this is such a lame plot device.
It
they
is.
Go, hey, you guys want to try some diamonds on?
Yeah.
We just found them in the safe. Just have a look at them. All right, you're done. All right, put them back.
Also, William Defoe's plan hinges on him pretending to be drunk and hoping to stumble into the control room.
It's very flawed. He wants. All right, get the hacking. He can do that, but yeah, he has to. So his plan is to. Oh, goodness.
He then presses buttons like an idiot.
Yeah.
He's like, what do these do? And they're like, could somebody stop this drunken man from pressing cruise buttons?
Oh, yeah.
And people are like, I don't want to touch him.
No.
His hair's long.
Ugh, you can see his cock and his white pants.
Look at it. You could almost wrap it around like earmuffs, but
Almost.
not enough.
Not enough. Let's keep that.
Emphasis on almost.
Yeah, so his plan is to hack into the computer cruise, set up bombs around the place, and also he wants to get to the captain's quarters to put a microphone under the thing so he can hear their people, and also like a blocker thing, like
I think so.
like a scrambler. That's his plan.
Mm.
Okay, yeah.
No, terrible plan.
Terrible plan.
Makes no sense. You know what also makes no sense? The fact that Sandra Bullock and her boyfriend, long time, who he's planning on proposing to her, we haven't mentioned, have single beds in their hotel room. I was thinking
that, yeah.
Didn't that make you sad?
Was it?
Could they not afford to get a room for the shoot?
Part of me was thinking, I guess it was the 90s, they couldn't show marital beds, but I was thinking the Flintstones, like 1950s.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait, no, that's happened.
Were cruises built to not have double beds?
No way, why?
I don't know.
Unless you're unmarried. No, it's the 90s. No way. No way.
Oscar, we've both been on cruises. Thoughts on cruises?
I was surprised at how little they had changed. Like, the decorum and everything was the exact same on mine.
You want to go to a brand spanking new cruise if you want it to be. I guess they're geared towards older people.
Yeah.
I went on very young. You went on at a
ripe old age of 22, one.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It was definitely not my crowd. Just not.
Did you have fun, though?
I had great fun. I had loads of fun.
Great fun on that,
it's real good.
I went to mine that was more aimed for children. They do these overhead shots of this cruise, and there's the saddest little spa at the tip of it, and I'm like, who's meant to use that? It's like the size of a home spa.
Yeah. For
an entire cruise ship.
What's this? Well, the cruise keeps changing. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did, actually.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned it. No, yes, now that you've mentioned it, I'm like, did they shoot on multiple cruises? Or is it multiple interiors?
It was set on... It actually was filmed on a cruise ship. So... But, all the external shots kept changing. Because I was like, oh, it's a small cruise. And it became bigger. I'm like, that's just really strange. Oh, God.
Just really quick. Remember, there's so much action in Speed.
Yeah.
There's so much action in Speed.
Every second it's just tense because they're trying to figure out how to do it. And then they're back into action.
It's 30 minutes. They've done nothing but chase an ice cream truck with computers in it.
I'm convinced that they went, fuck, it's boring. Let's put this action scene.
They must have had to, but even then, the first action sequence in Speed is tense. They need to save people from an elevator. Otherwise, 10 people are going to die.
Yeah.
It introduces the villain. It's important.
Yeah. This is not important.
Yeah, but also it's there's stakes. The opening scene of this, they chase an ice cream truck with computers. It doesn't matter if he escapes or not.
I think it's just to establish, not Max, what's his name? Alex.
But also...
I think it's just establish, hey, he can do stunts, I guess.
But they establish Keanu Reeves in the exact same way, but in a tense action sequence.
Yeah.
Same director. That's what I don't get. Same director.
The director didn't want to do this. He said it. He just didn't want to do it. He wanted... He had a bunch of script notes. He was like, all right, I'll do it, but you guys need to change all these... There's so many things wrong with the script. He's like, I'll come back in 3 months and we'll do it. Gets on board and opens the script. Nothing's changed. He went, fuck. He got so depressed, so broken by this film. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I think it was very much bullied.
Because I don't think he he's done very little. Like, he's only done a handful of films. It's really bizarre. Because I think Speed is terrific.
Yeah.
After Speed, he did Twister, which is a movie that was like one of the highest grossing movies of that year. Might have been the highest grossing movie of that year. Like, and then just like Cruise Control, The Haunting, which was terrible, and then the second Lara Croft, and then stopped. Like, he tried so hard in the first two. He was supposed to do a Godzilla movie. That recently came out, was he was supposed to do Godzilla, but it went over budget, and they were like, no, don't do it.
God. I don't know why...
Because Twister looks great.
Yeah. So, that's a weird one budget. I don't know why a studio would throw 160. I guess it's the title, but I just don't know. I don't like save 80 million.
But I mean, in their heads, they must have gone, surely we could double what the first movie made. So they were like confident in that because the first one made so much.
700 million. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's like Terminator 2 had just made a shit ton of money. Like, the action movies were like really beginning to like
I know, but
go big.
700 million.
Like, another movie based on a cruise ship makes a bit like $2 billion that year. The same. No wonder people didn't see this. They were like, we've already seen it. We've already seen Titanic. James Cameron just made this. There's a better love story. Fucking The Phantom. What's his face?
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane's in it. He's got a gun. There's more action in Titanic. A love story about a true story about a doomed ship than there is in this fucking film.
Which phrases an action film. It's crazy, the comparison to Titanic. Could you imagine?
No wonder.
They're on the same lot, so you're going, wait, what are you guys doing? We're doing a boat film. Oh, no.
They're like, hey, so we're using groundbreaking CGI to sink this boat. What are you doing? We fucking built ours. And we're going to sink it in real life. And we're just going to put, like, people in... We're going to sink a real fucking boat. I'm hinging my career on it. And the director of Speed 2 was like, cool. I couldn't even get Scott Speedman to be in my film.
We're also still going to spend $25 million.
We're going to spend the same amount of money.
Which is so strange, because, like, there's, like... Oh, God.
How much do you reckon Titanic cost?
Oh, Titanic cost, like, $300 million. But, like...
Titanic cost $200 million back in the day.
Yep.
Huge amount of money. Only $40 million more than Speed 2. No wonder audiences didn't see, like, Speed 2. Fucking Titanic was probably still in the box office.
It was 100%.
It was, like, in the top 10 for 50 weeks.
It was long as, like, 105 weeks.
Insane! Insane! It had Leonardo DiCaprio. You've got fucking
That's why
Alex.
Why they bank so much money on half the star power?
Oh my god. Wild. Titanic got Oscar nomination and won it, didn't it?
Won them all.
It won so much. You made Speed 2. I'm so upset with this revelation.
Oh yeah, did you not already hit that? That hit you?
No, it didn't occur to me that they both would have just been out at this. People would have been cruised out. They would have been like, they're like, look, we'll accept Tom Cruise, but not Cruise Control.
I imagine a quota for everyone's like, well, the studies show you can do one boat film a year. Like, fuck, I just saw Titanic. Are you fucking with me?
Sure, but like, people would have been like, hey, Mum, can we go see Speed 2? And she's like, look, we can see Titanic again. Here's the thing, Titanic's the length of 2 films.
I'm gonna say,
you'll get more bang for your buck. People were tight on money in 96.
Spoil the who would watch this, but who would watch this? People in 1997
who
have 3 hours.
Didn't watch Titanic. It was a Titanic.
Walked in the wrong movie theater. Went, oh,
is this what people are raving on about?
10 Oscars.
Oh, wild! Really, that movie with all the leeches won 10 Oscars. The one with that actor with a giant cock that almost are earmuffs.
Oh, get back to it. There's a sign language kid. What do we think about her?
Oh god. Anyway, here's what.
Go on.
Yeah, there's a sign language kid. Fuck her. I don't care about her. She's a bad character. Here's what I want to talk about. William Defoe killing the captain. So William Defoe swings a lamp.
The captain is standing still. Willem Dafoe's like, I have this lamp. It's attached to a meter spinny thing.
Yeah.
And can you walk closer? I need to smack you with this lamp.
If the captain had taken a step back, lived. The movie's good. The movie's fine. But because he stepped forward, he hits him once, gives time for the captain to run away, hits him twice, and then just throws him over the edge.
Oh.
There's no violence. It's not even a cool violent death. He just gets sucked under the water and you assume he dies.
How weird's like this? I don't know if there's a '90s thing, but like they haven't got slow motion. They just,
it's the shuddering effect.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? They just keep doing it. Anyway, sorry, this sign language kid, you've brushed over it. Alex knows sign language. Why?
Because I'm pretty sure... wait, isn't his excuse he wanted to learn another language?
I know, it's lame. You don't get to do that.
In his head, I think he thought all Italians were, like, deaf. He's like, they use their hands a lot when they talk, right?
He gets to Italy. Oh, no. I made a grave mistake.
Just signs that he wants pizza, and they're like, fucking talk.
Racist? You prick.
They're like, hey... What you've assumed about us is wrong. Yes, I do know sign language, but fuck you. Talk with your mouth.
What's an Italian doing sign language? It's like ×2. Was it cancel each other out?
It's the same as them not having arms.
We just kind of...
He should have learned to read lips.
But he kind of can.
What a weird conceit. Because here's the thing. Can you imagine if it was Keanu Reeves? And they just had to be like, Keanu Reeves knows sign language now.
But I don't get this character. She just kind of doesn't really like... It doesn't hinder.
She traps herself in a room.
No, Alex does that. I blame Alex.
Does he?
Yeah.
What does he do? Here's the thing, because I refused to stop the movie because it was so long whenever I wrote down a note. So I'd look up and I'd miss something and I went...
Oscar got that.
Yeah, Oscar's got the other half of this film for me.
Okay, Alex and Sandra B are watching Lolita.
Wait, are they?
Yeah, did you catch that?
Fuck off. Are they actually...
Yeah.
What?
They're twin beds. And I was like, it's a weird...
Lolita?
Yeah.
That's even more upsetting because later the little girl hits on Alex.
Okay, I'm glad we brought it up. Alex is a perv to this to this sign language girl. He's like kind of chatting her up in sign language. I wasn't happy with it.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
And then they had this movie. I was like, what are they saying?
You know what was annoyed me is I was so excited to watch a movie without an abusive protagonist.
Oh god, right?
And I'm like,
what's this? The fifth in a row?
Oh god, so many. So they've all been abusive. We might as well have been like, you know what? Who will watch any of the movies we've watched?
Violent men.
Violent men. Awful men. People that aspire to be Russell Crowe in life. That's who.
Hey, I haven't seen that movie he's in at the moment. What's it called?
Unhinged.
Unhinged.
He's unhinged!
Yeah, I was just like, oh.
Fuck it, do we watch Unhinged next week?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's lean into it. Only abusive men.
No, because as a result, we kind of like get used to it, and we're like, you know, he's
it's
fine.
a trope. Eventually, we'll get to like a main character, and it'll be like, "Fuck, stay with this man."
Oh god, yeah, let's watch Unhinged. Okay, yeah,
Anyway.
so we're watching Lolita. Weird Out. Willem Dafoe's doing the more leech things. What do we think about Sandra and Alex's relationship? Do you believe it?
I've already said it's bad. They sleep in separate single beds on a cruise ship. The sexiest place on earth. Here's what happens after sex. He goes, all right, you want to go back to yours now?
Let me shuffle on over.
He
He drags the bed back.
They couldn't even push him together, like bolted to the ground.
So you don't steal them.
Oh, God. That room is huge.
Right?
Yeah,
Cruise
huge.
ship. I got the shittiest room. I got this like essentially submarine bunker with like 4 bunk beds kissed up to each other.
Yeah. Can we just go to the boat shaking? Like the plan is executed.
Yeah, so
The plan begins to be executed. The boat begins to shake. People are like, fuck, we're about to be in peril.
yeah.
Sandra Bullock goes, let's just keep dancing. Forces him
Weird,
to keep
right?
dancing. Really weird until he's like, I think something's wrong.
What's going on? He also misses the proposal. He's like, hey, you wanna... And then it shakes. I can't believe his proposal was like, you wanna get married?
Yeah, and even then, he keeps saving it, and then at the end he's like, you want to wear this? Throws it to her. I was waiting for her to be like, no.
You've been a bad person.
Yeah.
You're wild.
Me and Keanu crashed a train into Hollywood Boulevard, then fucked in the street. What have you done?
He did do that he did do a wheelie on his motorbike.
Wheelie.
My favorite characters are the two parents that immediately abandon their child, their
love
deaf
it.
child.
Oh my god, it's so funny because the mum is like, we need to find her, and the guy is like, we've looked everywhere, get on the escape
He literally
boat.
says, leave the child. She's fine.
And Sandra Bullock is watching, being like, she'll turn up.
She doesn't step in.
I
No one
thought
steps in.
this is going to be her plot. She's going to be the one that goes and finds that child and saves her, and she'll be an active protagonist too.
Yeah.
No.
They
They go stutter to the side.
Speed, she's so important.
Yeah.
She's so thrown to this. This is Alex's story. And Alex is
I didn't
so
come
boring.
to Speed 2 Cruise Control to see
I didn't
Alex. I tried to jerk off for 2 hours to Speed 2 Cruise Control, and then I only was able to do it in the credits.
No, that's weird. Dante showed up and I immediately splooged.
Dante!
He took a picture.
Oh god, anyway. So,
We have this weird bit where they're trying to get into lifeboats. And this is like the first, like, tense scene, because Speed is filled with them.
yeah. Speed starts and never stops.
Yeah.
Never stop. It's constant action for the same length of time. It's nearly 2 hours.
Yeah.
Constant action.
This one stops constantly, and then you kind of realize, oh, we're meant to be tense. They're dropping this lifeboat. What's happening?
Okay, so here's what's happening. Alex kills 2 people.
Yep, immediately.
Basically, Sandra Bullock hops on, he goes to hop on, and then somebody goes, there's not enough time, we have to drop you before the boat starts, we don't know what else he could do to us. And he grabs it and goes, who's he? To which the boat then begins to start, and then they're like, quick, drop them, because Scott Speedman's like, okay, I'm just gonna hop out and I'm gonna save this situation. In doing so, rocks the boat, causing Dante to fall out, and then 2 randoms, who I thought were the parents of that kid,
Yeah, me too.
fall out and get sucked under the boat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's you. Had you just sat in the
Alex
boat...
has now murdered more people than the villain.
Here's what I think. If Alex was to get onto this boat, and they drop down peacefully, and with the rest of the boats are saved, less people would have died than had Alex actually acted.
I think so too.
Seriously, Alex is a intense villain.
He makes awful decisions. Awful decisions.
He's also an idiot.
He's a moron.
He doesn't know ships, and he's walking around like he does.
I love it so much. He goes to the captain. The captain's like, "What are you doing here, civilian?" He's like, "We gotta get the boat. We gotta get the boat. Can we just fill the boat with water?" And the captain's like, "What would that do?" And I was like, it could stop it. So then they fill the bottom of. I don't know what button they press.
Yeah, I don't know why there is a button to sink a ship. There's the emergency button to sink a ship.
It's
on a
right next to
cruise.
the save the button. He goes, "Oh no!" When the bottom of the ship starts filling up, and literally seconds later, Alex goes, "Oh no," because the deaf kid's down there, and he has to.
And she can't hear water, so he has to go get her. And he's like, "You haven't started sinking the ship yet, have you?" And he's like, "You told me to.
And
you were
you-
holding a gun. As far as I'm concerned, you're the one sabotaging this boat." And he's like, "God, another situation for me to have to save." You know what it reminds
But
me
he
of?
hasn't. He hasn't. He was in Speed 1.
You know what reminds me of? It makes me think he's like the villain in The Incredibles, who just makes situations for him to be the hero so people like him.
Alex, did you cause that ship to crash into a dock?
No.
It was the crazy Willem Dafoe guy.
Yeah, because the little girl Mission Impossibles herself out of an elevator.
Yeah.
Wild!
Well, and also, Willem Dafoe's big thing is he's blown up the boat. He's also, I cannot believe this is a thing, he's locked the fire doors. Why do fire doors lock? I don't know. Because I didn't get it.
I don't know. It's a lot of effort to steal some diamonds.
I'm more concerned
Like some
about the fire
diamonds.
safety. I'm more concerned that...
No, well, here's what happens. If there's a fire, they flood the boat.
Hey, the kitchen smoke alarm's gone off. We've already started the sinking procedure. Get off the boat now.
I love it. If a smoke detector goes off, it just opens the floodgates and sinks it.
Historians were like, where the fuck's this iceberg at? They're like, oh no, we're just smoke detector. My couscous burnt and I had to sink the Titanic.
Billy Zane wanted fucking tiramisu. Why'd that even smoke up? I don't know, but we've had
You picked a cold dessert, Carl. You made a grave fucking mistake.
There's coffee in it.
You should have gone for heaters.
Fajitas! Oh, God. Anyway, there's this insane line when they come up to, like, a handful of people that I guess had gotten stuck.
Yeah.
And Sandra Bullock's like, is there a little girl back there? And a man goes, no, just big women.
It kind of gets a laugh, but you're also like, why?
Because there's other parts where he's acting like a creep and he's like, why do I have to take my clothes off? Why can't she take her clothes off? Who's writing these films?
Who are these people? Because they lock all these fire doors and only 8 people are locked in, and it's the pervert.
You know who the pervert's always that. You know who he reminds me of? Like Ronnie from Truth or Dare in like 3 years. He's like the...
In 3 years! He's a father with 2! Ronnie's like a 20-year-old. I'm not surprised. But yeah, but...
If Ronnie was in this, she'd be like, are there any little girls back there? And Ronnie'd be like, no, but there's anal waiting for you. Because I'm Ronnie. He also would be on the boat and have no friends there. He'd try and latch onto another group.
Oh...
Why not? Here's the other thing I want to say about Alex and Sandra. They never work together once.
No.
They constantly split up.
They keep meeting up. I'm like, here's the plot. They're going to help each other. They're like, we should just split up.
Yeah. He splits up immediately. He's like, I've got a shotgun. I'm going to go shoot a fire.
Yeah. That's his plan.
There's a part where he almost gets the villain, and then the villain turns into televisions. And he just keeps shooting televisions.
It's cool. See, Willem Dafoe has a keyboard wristwatch, and he hacks, before he can shoot a gun, he hacks the door, and it shuts the door, and that's how he gets away.
Yeah. He goes,
the nerd
beep,
wins.
Boop, boop, and it closes, and he's like, Flood can't get in here. but he's on television, and I keep calling him Scott Speedman. He's not in this film.
It's Alex.
Alex keeps shooting a television, like, he wastes the entire round, and I'm like, you realize the television isn't him.
No, it's him. It looks like him. I don't... What are you...
He's like, wow, you've gotten big and split your face into 9 perfect sectors.
I wish I could shoot you. I shot you. Why aren't you dead? The big gun goes, no.
And then he turns and he's like, your shadow's over there. He wasn't even in the television. Convinced he's never seen a television. He's like, what is this magic?
He's not a cop. I don't think he's ever seen a boat. I don't think he's ever seen water.
He constantly asserts the fact that he, like, knows how boats work. There's a part where he turns to the guy and he's like, how do we do this? And he's like, I'm a navigator. I don't do that. And he's like, cool. Starts smashing everything with a gun. And he's like, this will help.
I love this. I love this running bit throughout the whole thing. So we're meant to believe Alex and Sandra are... What's Sandra's name? I don't know.
It's Annie.
We're saying Sandra.
Yeah.
They do this bit, which is... Sandra's annoyed that Alex hasn't told her her badge number.
Oh, yeah.
And they kind of hold it up against each other. And
but why does it matter?
I don't get it. Because I don't know.
Why does the badge number matter? Do you know your partner's, like, license plate number? Off the top of your head.
License plate, yes. But that's
okay, what about license number?
No, I don't know that. I don't know why I'd need to know.
Shall we dox your partner? What's her license plate?
So then they get split up, which is great because now there's a tense moment. There's a grenade in the door. Why?
Yeah. I don't know why, but during the scene, I kept being like, because it's suddenly daytime.
Yeah,
I think already
it is.
And
it's smash cuts.
It's,
and it really
it's
annoys
daytime
me.
because he sets a thing at 6 hours. Then
it's night.
And it's night.
Unless it's 4 a.m. Which is not, because the ball
Well, it's to say 6 hours has happened, I think. Because William Defoe runs around the boat for 6 hours, looks at his watch, he's got like 11 minutes left.
Yeah.
Weird. So I'm like, it took you that long to run around a boat? Anyway, do you reckon anyone went and rescued the other boats?
No.
Do you reckon they just died?
I think they did.
You reckon they died?
I think they did. 100%. Actually, no. They were so close to shore. Like, they were comically close to shore. I was so surprised they didn't have, like, a flare gun and just boats and go, hey, you guys good? You're so close to...
How come the boats can't get sucked under the ship?
I think because they're floaty. I think because the boat material's floaty. As you know, I know more about boats than Alex. By the way I talk.
You do. He's like, see these lights? They're not fires. But the light says that they're fires. They're not. He's smoked them.
How weird's that, huh?
I know. Why did he pick up on that? Here's the thing. You reckon it would be like your first act, like your first action sequence would set up a handful of things that then pay off later in terms of him being like, well, this happened to me earlier in life.
Yeah.
So now I know to pick up on it now.
Yeah.
But no.
No.
He's like, wait a minute, this guy's stealing computers.
He knows everything so quickly and we have no idea how.
William Defoe drives out of the boat in an ice cream truck.
He's like, thank God I have my motorbike.
He motorbikes on the water. So
God, it's such a mess.
Okay, anyway, so it also gets to a point where Alex is like, we need to stop the propellers.
Yeah.
I'm going to go under the boat.
No, because this is the dumb thing. Because then they're all talking in the cruise control thing. The second in command and the navigator, they're like, all right, we need to stop the boat. The navigator goes, oh, how would we do that? I guess we could put like a metal rod, but that wouldn't work. And Alex is already grabbing a metal rod, running to the back of the boat, going, I'm going to do it. And they're like, yeah, sure, go nuts.
So then they try to do it. It looks terrible.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. We spent $25 million on the ending. We won't say that just yet. They used probably the worst. Like, not CGI is bad, of course. It's the 90s, but like, why?
I don't know.
Because it looks like an original Pixar
to
film.
Yeah, it's like, wouldn't it have been cheaper to just sink a ship?
Definitely.
So anyway, it gets revealed to us as to why William Dafoe has leeches.
Does it?
Yeah.
What is it?
So it's to suck the copper out of his blood because he's got copper poisoning from being around computers.
I missed that. I just was waiting for the gift.
He said they're giving him... They're like, you idiot, you crazy man, you use leeches. And he's like, those are my nurses. They're giving me more life. The doctors told me there was only so much more to live, but because the leeches suck the copper out of my blood, I'm able to live longer and maybe enjoy the diamonds.
I preferred my understanding of the film that I never got resolved, and he was just a weirdo. I preferred that. Anyway, he does the gif. You know, the manic like face. He does that gif.
Oh, is that what that is? I
That's
must have
what
been
I thought.
writing during that time. I love how we've both got half a film.
We got half a film.
Both got half a film.
Maybe it's actually great. Did we miss it?
I don't know. Let's put our notes together. Oh, it's not.
No.
We just national treasured our notes together to be
Just
like, look
Alex
at
is
them.
mentally ill.
Anyway, so Annie gets taken as the damsel in distress.
Bad,
and then
right?
she's just not in the film for like the
No,
rest
you
of it.
really miss it. And then Alex is like, I gotta stop this whole thing.
Anyway, I do like, because there's a woman screaming and she goes, how could this happen on our honeymoon? What does that mean?
I don't know,
If
right?
you have a honeymoon, are you just not allowed to die on it?
No, that's the rule.
God
The
can be cruel.
The Bible does say that. On your honeymoon, you got a grace period. No death. That's why people get married.
Yep. God's like, I'll give you 2 days where you're invincible, but that's it.
That's why everyone before war gets married.
Yeah.
They become invincible. We're kind of in the middle, I think.
If he's done
done the
propeller
thing.
bit, there's only 30 minutes left in the film.
Alright, cool. Okay, so they're heading towards the oil tanker. The oil tanker can't move in time. I don't know what Alex does. He goes, alright, we need to swim under. Hey, Dante, you still there? And Dante's like, oh, got a picture. Click. And then they go under the water, spin some valves, and that allows the boat to turn.
Right. So here's what happened to me because I was writing a note. I looked at the screen. Just Alex goes underwater.
Yeah.
I write a note. I look back at the screen. Dante pops his head up. So I'm very confused, but also very excited.
Honestly, Dante would be a much better lead.
If Sandra had left Alex for Dante, I would have been all about that.
And then I assume Dante dies. We barely ever see him again.
I think he just yells at the end. Remember he's on the microphone, he's like, everybody move out of the way!
Oh, yeah. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, so this... I don't know why they didn't do this in the first place. It spins the boat. And
They also attempt to put down an anchor, and I'm like, why didn't you think of doing that earlier? I mean, it doesn't do anything,
No,
but like,
give it a try.
Why is now when you decide to use an anchor?
Also looked it up. Apparently no cruise ship in history has ever not being able to like swap over from autopilot to manual. You just can't do that. You can always manually...
No, because he'd made a program that did it.
No, but they just can't.
Yeah. What?
you just can't.
You can't switch it.
You can't switch it.
It just stays on autopilot.
It'll be no. This film is broken because you can always do manual.
Right.
That one.
Right. But William Defoe, with leeches on him, is allowed to override it.
Yes, sorry.
So there's not really a plot hole.
No, not a big plot hole.
I guess the movie's flawless then.
Anyway.
Do we stop?
Oh, I think we do. No, we're getting so close. All right, so then they scrape along this oil barrel. It looks bad.
Bits look okay.
I was surprised at some of the bits.
There were a handful of wides where I went, that's okay. Whenever they went close, I went, oh no.
I can't blame them. It's like the 90s. I'm more...
Well, you could.
I'm more angry that they... No,
you could blame them. Titanic's the same year.
No. I'll say this. I blame them more because I'd rather they just kept the CGI, kept the budget down, but instead they commit to one of the most boring set pieces being fully done. Why not do the oil tank? I don't know.
Here's the thing. Like, set the movie on like a blimp. Do something fun. There's an episode of Archer that's Die Hard on a blimp.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Much better.
So fantastic. It's helium, not hydrogen.
Early Archer is fantastic.
So good. Oh, okay.
Anyway,
see.
so they basically skirt past the tanker.
Yeah.
And then there's this moment where they're all like, wow, we've done great. Everybody turns their heads to the right. And what do they... I'll do one. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. And then
the deaf girl goes,
and then it's revealed this is an island.
Yeah.
Why don't they think? Why they turned left? They would have got to
You know damn well Alex didn't. He smiled and went, well, why don't they keep spinning the wheel? Why don't they keep playing the wheel? That's the biggest plot point with this film. Because you go, it's a boat. You could just go to water.
Sea.
70% of the world is sea. Just go out there.
I would love them to go back and just run over all the people that were in the other boat. Oh, God. Because here's the thing. The cruise ship now just begins to... Sandra Bullock's not in the final climax.
No.
And the final climax is something even the main character can't overcome. It's by coincidence they hit so many boats. Here's how they stop the boat.
Yeah.
They hit an island. That's how they stop. They hit land.
They lose. They also in the process murder so many boats. Some boats just blow up.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
There's one where like a character's like, oh God, I'm so glad I invested in fucking barrels of gasoline and I put them in the safest place in the world, the ocean, because nothing flammable is there. What?
Oh shit. Why do some die so horrifically and then most of the rest kind of get out?
There's a part where there's like somebody doing like on the back of a boat where it's like you like a skiing.
Jet ski, yeah.
Like not jet skiing, but like
what
is it
called?
Like waterboarding or water rafting or something.
Yeah.
He fucking has a brutal death.
Yeah.
He gets let go. He slams in the boat, probably snaps his neck, and then is brought down into the blades of the boat. Whereas the other guy who's in the boat just goes, oh shit, and flies up into the air into a house and brushes it off and is like, well, that was wacky.
It's weird, isn't it? They went, all right, we need some dark edits and then light edits. Like, we just have this footage. We use it all? Yes.
But it's weird that so the climax is the hero watching events unfold and can't do anything.
It's not the climax. That's the weirdest part. It kind of isn't the ending.
Yeah, I know that there's like... Oh, this is my other favourite bit that I love, is the navigator is just holding the boat, shaking, and every knot it goes down, it cuts back to him being like, 5 knots left! It's decreasing! And there's a part where it hits 0, and he gets up and he's like, 0. In case people didn't know.
I don't
stopped.
know why. It would be better, like, storytelling wise, but you don't know the boat's going to stop. You can't think, oh, it's slowing down. Though. Anyway,
But it keeps cutting to the number anyway. Why does a guy with that very thick accent shake and go, it's at 4?
We haven't even mentioned that. He's Scottish. The other guy's like, I think Australia. He's Australian. Maori, yeah. And then I think the captain's something. What's he?
Sorry, let's say Swedish.
I think Swedish.
He was like the Swedish chef. He was like,
anyway, this scene cost $25 million. Carl, what do you think?
It's so slow and boring. There's not an ounce of excitement to a fucking boat crashing into a village. They were basically
No,
like,
they did. They did
they
that.
built a village and they fucking crashed a boat into it. And you're watching, you're like, that's lame.
Because again, it's going 5 knots an hour.
Do you remember this? Like, so basically, in Tenet, Nolan does the same thing with a plane.
Yeah.
But he does it from this low angle, and you're like, fuck, that plane's huge.
Yeah.
And the sound is glaringly loud, and it like just fucking plows into a thing, and you're like, well, that's cool. None of this is cool.
None of it's cool.
None of this is
It's
cool.
the lamest 25 minutes. It's the most expensive stunt in history. Do you know that? It hasn't been topped yet.
Here's the thing. I've done shits more exciting than that fucking stunt.
It's because I heard that went, oh fuck, it's gonna be great.
I was watching
and most of it's just the dock getting like kind of ripped apart, and you kind of think, oh.
Yeah, and there's like a dog that's like, bark, 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 bark.
Actually, there's one bit I like. A guy opens a store, it says closed, goes open, and then immediately goes closed and walks away. That's the only enjoyment I got out of the film.
My favorite bit was the two people fucking. And then like, what's that? Oh, a boat!
Isn't the child in the room at the same time?
Yeah, there is. It also has so Sandra Bullock's handcuffed.
Yeah.
They have dual jet skis. I don't know if that's a thing.
I don't know, yeah, because they get Willem Dafoe and Sandra are on a boat, but it's 2 jet skis, and then immediately Sandra's like, oh, I'm just gonna...
Well, I can just do this.
Yeah.
And ejects him. And he's like, this line, come back, you're my hostage.
It's pretty good,
It's
isn't
the
it?
saddest. I feel bad for him.
Well, he's just a nerd, isn't he?
There's a part where people are like, hey, William Defoe, do you want to get Captain, do you want to get a picture with us? And he's so happy.
He is.
Like, because he's getting his credit.
Yeah.
My heart breaks for him. He's got
Honestly,
copper boys.
He's the
diamonds.
most deep character you have.
Oh, I get it. The other thing that annoys me in this is they're in like a boat with one of the people from the first movie. So in the first
is that
yeah,
guy?
I went and looked it up,
so.
and it is the same actor because he's like, I've had to have so much therapy because of the LAPD.
Yeah.
So in the first movie, his Jaguar gets commandeered by Keanu, and they stay in it and they have a bit of banter and blah, it's fun. And now his boat has to be commandeered. But his girlfriend looks up into the sky and a flare goes up and she's like, fireworks.
Weird, right?
And I'm like, everyone knows what a fucking flare looks like.
That's the thing.
Like, but also, why did you have to write it like she's an idiot? Why couldn't she be like, there's a flare?
Because you know why, Carl. This film, when Alex is the main protagonist, you think they had a woman writing? No.
Here's the other thing for
dumb.
me. If William had let Annie get away, he would have been fine and lived a fruitful life.
He would have.
Because he insists on taking Annie with him, he has to chase him. So the only reason...
She does check... How does he catch her? Because I was writing a note and it blinked. And
yeah, it cuts back and he's got her again.
He's got her in a seaplane.
But here's the thing. His plan with her is to throw her out of the seaplane. So if your plan is to kill her anyway, kill her now.
Yeah.
He's not going to chase you because his plan is to get her back. But if you'd let her go, you would have gotten away scot-free.
And he's the smartest character in the whole thing.
It makes no sense. You know what I would have loved if he was just like in love with his leeches. And there's a part where it's like you have to choose between the diamonds or the leeches. And he lets go of the diamonds and dives for the leeches, but they smash anyway.
Oh no.
And the ghosts of the leeches go up into the air and they go, evil.
You disappoint me.
Oh god.
Is the scene where the oil tanker blows up real?
I think it's CG enhanced.
So Willem Dafoe gets in the plane. We're rushing now. I can't remember how. They jump off, Sandra and Alex. Alex is something cool. Not really.
Not really. I think he, like, winds a fishing
Sorry,
a fishing
my mistake.
rod.
Yeah, he's on the boat, spearfishes the boat, he's holding onto a plane, and he somehow, like, climbs up the whole thing, and then goes, hey, Sandra, knocks out Willem Dafoe, saves Sandra, Willem Dafoe crashes the plane into the oil tanker.
So, I think what they've done... I don't know. I'm pretty sure they've done the actual explosion.
Yes.
Like, they've lined the top of a boat.
Yeah.
Exploded. But what they've done is they've CGI'd in items flying off with them. And because there is, like, a fine outline with them, it makes the rest of the explosion look fake. Because when it's a mid-shot, it looks like it's CGI.
Yeah.
And then they do a massive wide, and it looks real.
It looks real. I was like, wow.
Because there's a part...
Looks great, I think.
There is a part in the first fucking movie where they do an explosion at the end when the bus finally goes into a plane.
Yes.
And it's spectacular. Amazing explosion. This explosion's so big, I'm convinced it would rock the world.
It's an entire oil tanker that just a mushroom cloud comes off it. And that's the ending. It's big.
Well, no, Annie needs to be saved one more time because she can't kick to the surface with her legs.
Oh, yeah. At this point, it's so long, and you just end. Alex goes underwater, saves her.
So anyway, he's like, "Hey, let's."
Oh no, sorry. How does he save her? He goes, she's drowning. He goes underwater.
He just fucking picks her up.
No, he doesn't. He goes, "I'm gonna kiss you underwater." Blows air into her brain, like into her mouth. But I thought he was just kissing her.
Missed
Weird.
this. Anyway, he proposes, and I'm just like, "Wow, he constantly abandoned you.
Say no.
You never worked together. You have no reason to marry him. Go back to Keanu."
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you want a sequel to Speed, just fucking watch The Lake House.
I've not seen The Lake House.
Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock are in love in The Lake House.
No, watch SPF 35.
No.
It ends, but then there's a weird... The credits roll, but then there's the driving test. He takes the driving test again. And then...
turned it off immediately.
I was
so sick of Jamaican drumming. this whole... Imagine the insanity of what we've talked about in terms of a coherent story. Over the top, they've gone, you know what'll make this better? A Jamaican influence on an action soundtrack. Fucking bizarre.
The Congo budget wasn't crazy. You wouldn't believe. Sorry, the credits roll, and then she's doing a driving test again. You think, oh, she's going to pass. And she kind of just does the exact same thing at the start. I think it's just extra footage. She says that bus came out of nowhere. It was going fast and then crashes. That's Speed 2.
Cruise control. Oscar, who would watch this?
I mean... if you're watching Titanic. No,
Which Billy Zane was in this?
Me too. I think if you like sort of that Nicolas Cage acting style, I think Willem Dafoe is having a lot of fun in this.
God, I would just watch the William Dafoe scenes on YouTube.
Yeah.
If this movie was 90 minutes, maybe I'd be able to give it a bit of a pass.
Yeah.
It's so slow.
It is
in
slow.
parts.
It's a boat.
There's
going
really
40 knots.
There's really no action. In my head, there's no action. It's just the boat slowly sinking.
Oh, it doesn't sink. That's the thing.
Yeah, there's no repercussion to him flooding it.
No. There's just like nothing.
Yeah. This movie's so nothing. I guess if you're like nothing.
It's just... I'm just like, it's just kind of nothing, but I'm not angry at it. I'm not that angry at it. Is that weird?
Yeah, I wasn't that angry at it either. I was like, is this a 2-star film? And then I went and had a look at all of my other 1.5 stars like ratings. And I was like, either they have to pop up to being 2 or this movie's 1.5 as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I just went, no, I'd rather watch those 1.5s more than this. So,
100%.
So I went and like sat it there. Because it's just so generic and clear. I reckon if you like a handful of like Steven Seagal films,
yeah, you might
like this. I reckon if you like a lot of straight to DVD sequels, you would probably like this.
It's funny because it's not even budget though. It's like huge.
Here's the thing: it doesn't look like 160 million.
No, it looks pretty cheap.
It's like,
and there's not much star power.
No,
like Sandra Bullock probably cost a bit because she was in the first one, but like
this movie must have cost so much more if Keanu Reeves said yes to coming back. Like if he had been like,
I don't know why he put this budget at 160 million.
Yeah,
if you like watching people waste money, it's great for that.
It is fun. I will say, I actually had a lot of joy watching the movie whenever I had the movie on my laptop, and I walked into the kitchen and opened up the fridge, and there was a slice of prosciutto I'd forgotten about. And I ate that prosciutto, and I was so happy I'd found a slice of prosciutto. I reckon I enjoyed the movie for like a minute. So like I would eat it with like
your review. Oh man, there's salami in the fridge. You wouldn't believe it. Anyway, whatever was in the background was great.
Pretty much. I would say, you know what? If you like background, Here's one. Here's a real one.
Who would watch this?
If you've got friends coming around and you want to do a drinking game to a movie that you know you're not going to finish because you're going to do, like, you'll move on to something else.
Yeah.
Watching the first, 40 minutes of this with an intense drinking game would be fun with a group, I think. Because it's background entertainment.
It is,
because you just end up talking over it. And something dumb will happen. You can all laugh at that thing that pops on screen. Then you can go back to fucking drinking and chatting. I think it's for drunks and stoners for the first 40 minutes. Or the last 40. Maybe fast forward through it.
I think skip the first hour 20.
Yeah. So here's what I say. It's for people that... God, I guess what I'm saying with my prosciutto analogy is watch this when you're sad and then do something that'll make you mildly happy and it will make you feel even happier because it's in the context of you being surrounded by watching Speed 2.
I love this segment of the podcast because I think we've both gone... We just need to figure out ways to say how to watch a shit film. Because guess what? Not many people would watch a shit film.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Because here's the thing. It's not for you if you're a fan of Sandra Bullock.
No.
It's not for you if you're a fan of whoever that lead actor is. it's...
There's three... This is best role cast. Actually, no. Who would watch this? This guy. That's it.
It's maybe for you if you're a fan of William Defoe.
I think so.
But even then, I don't think he's in the movie enough to really make him that fun.
No.
Like, he's in it so intermittently. Like...
When he shows up, he's great, though.
Yeah. So I just... It's not for that... If you're a fan of that director, it's probably his worst directed film, because he's terrific directing the first one in Twister. So, not for that. I don't know who would watch this. Fucking buy a pack of whatever makes you happy. For me, it's prosciutto. Watch
Pack
it.
says cigarettes. Yeah, pack of cigarettes and watch this.
Made you start chain smoking again. You haven't stopped the entire episode.
Oh, exactly. This room is filled with ash and smoke.
It's made me chain snorting again. I've just got a very long line of cocaine and I'm working up it.
The audio, trying to remove the snorting sound, is going to be a mess.
Oh, God. I'm just going to say it's snowing. That's what I'm going to do. Loudly snowing. Oscar, do you have a palate cleanser this week?
I'm currently watching a palate cleanser.
Ooh.
I'm watching Cowboy Beep Boop.
Beep Boop. Have you finished it yet?
I'm about halfway through.
The first season or second? Or just the whole series?
The whole series. Is there two?
There's 2 seasons.
Is there?
Yeah. Or unless maybe Australia says it's 2 seasons, but it's just 1 season.
I think I'm watching it on YouTube because it's all free on YouTube, like HD. There's like 23 episodes.
Because I own it and it says seasons 1 and 2.
Okay.
So, but I think that's also just 23 episodes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how in Australia they really chop up One Piece.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you've ever...
I've never
I don't know if you're
seen...
into One Piece, but
no.
They chop up One Piece.
Quite a bit?
Yeah, quite
so
a bit.
ironically, it's not One Piece.
Yo!
That's the best joke in the hit. Anyway, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I don't get the hype, though. I don't really get... I really like the music.
I think good music.
I think the art style's gorgeous. I just don't get how it's the best anime just yet.
Well, what's your favourite anime?
Well, I've started like a couple, and I haven't really like Death Note. I liked, and then like similar to this, I'm kind of like in the midpoint. I'm like,
Death Note gets bad.
Yeah, I thought
Death Note flat out gets bad. Starts out quite good, but it gets bad.
I thought the hook was great, and then it kept the middle was just that. So I was like, just finish. Am I just watching anime? Am I expecting something that I'm not gonna get? Because these are the two. These are the two.
I think Cowboy Bebop's terrific. So
yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah,
I just don't get how it's like the best piece of television ever.
I think because it's genuinely quite. It's like a pretty good mix of like Western and like anime.
Yeah,
I think there's a real Hollywood American quality to it. Because it's like there's some episodes where I'm just like, it's such a good episode, like a bottle. It's like because they don't flow really. They're like little vignettes, and I like the characters. Like it's just
listen, I'm really enjoying it. I think it's fantastic. I just don't get how because it says it's the best anime ever, and it's like the best show ever. So is there something I'm missing? Like what am I missing that like everyone else is like
Maybe it's just overhyped. You probably just thought it was going to be different to what it is.
I think so, maybe. I'm enjoying it. I think the art style and music.
Do you reckon you'll continue watching it?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to finish it.
Yeah, I actually have never seen the movie,
I wouldn't mind watching the movie.
so I don't know how that is. But
It looks like the ending. I like the sort of subplot they got going. It's very. I say 20 episodes. I'm very much enjoying
yeah,
it.
I hope Netflix doesn't fuck it up. So they're doing a live action with
They're gonna fuck that up.
but I think it's from the makers of Cowboy Bebop.
I still think like
I'm disappointed they didn't have Steve Ewan as Cowboy Bebop. They've got Harold from Harold and Kumar.
okay.
I like him.
I like him.
But I prefer.
Is he-
I like Steve Ewan.
But he's so cool, like the Spike, the main character.
Well, that's the other thing. I also think he's young,
yeah.
and I think Harold's pretty old.
He's like in his 30s.
Remember when Kumar Cal Penn was like worked with Barack Obama for 8 years, stopped
Yeah.
acting, and just was in the White House for 8 years?
Yeah, what was that?
Smart man. Remember when he was just on House for like 2 seasons?
Well, the house.
He's got such a wacky career.
All the houseless going. Hey, Carl, that was mine.
So I was away on work and had to stay in a very eerie and creepy hotel.
Oh.
That made me very uncomfortable.
Did you jump into horror or did you go away from horror?
So I lent into horror.
Oh, goodness.
I watched 2. I'll talk about the one I like the most out of the 2. Actually, I'll talk about the one I like the least right now, which was
Powerful.
Come See Me. No, Come Play. It's called Come Play.
Yep.
Come. It's called Come. It was like a short film turned into a feature by Amblin Entertainment. The short's a lot of fun. I think the movie's alright. I just don't think it can sustain itself for too long. I thought it was like okay directed. It has this really good scare because it kind of rides this fine line of being kind of dumb and cool. It's about kind of like a demon you can only see through your phone. So, and it's about this kid who has autism, and I thought that was a really good entry point into a horror film. But it was about how he uses technology to communicate with his parents. But one of the things is like, but anyway, like it's almost like he's got a haunted phone sort of thing, which sounds silly. They kind of pull it off in the beginning, but they would kind of like reinvent scares in terms of like, oh, is there something in the darkness? But for him, it'd be like, he's got the phone turned around and he's got one of those fake masks that they put on for like, Snapchat and
Like
stuff.
filter, yeah.
Yeah, it'd filter, but then it would like filter something in the darkness too.
Gotcha.
So it's like this little type of thing. He's like, there's nothing there. You look back and then like the filter will have moved closer sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like little things like that and that was cool. Couldn't sustain it. Britta's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I hope she does. I hope they all do well. I want them all to do very well, but I don't know if they are.
She's okay in it. Alison Brie, and you got a huge cast of people that are doing well.
Yeah.
Alison Brie, Glover, the one that won the Oscar, the Dean.
Yeah, he's kind of gone downhill though.
Literally.
Hey! I wish
For the listener at home, he directed and wrote
downhill.
Oh.
What was the other film you watched?
Okay, so the one I really enjoyed was called His House or His Home.
Yeah.
Which is basically about these asylum seekers who get put into this like haunted house in like Britain, and it's like one of those terrible housing development like things for people that are on, what is it?
Benefits,
yeah. So it's this really good one where it's like either they can pretty much put up with the horrors of the house, or they're going to get sent back to their asylum-seeking country sort of thing.
Ooh.
So, and then it kind of does this back and forth as to what their lives were before and trying to create a home in a new Western culture. I thought that was really good. I didn't think it was particularly scary, but I thought it was quite good.
Is it it sounds like horrific, not a horror film.
Yeah, I cried twice.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, that's where we're at. I would recommend His House or His Home.
Yep.
Wild, I can't remember either of the names of the films. And then either come...
Some has a home, one has a come home.
They're both 2 words. It's like come play in his house, or like come his home,
come in his house,
and then play with me. Play with him and his
play
home.
with his come in his home. Go on.
Oh god. Anyway, those are 2 horror films. Seek both of them, but watch one of them.
Nice.
That's where we're at.
That's
Okay.
where we're at.
Oscar, what are we going to be reviewing next week?
I think we decided we're Unhinged. Yes, let's do Unhinged. It's got a 6 on IMDb.
Yeah, I also just hear it's very dumb and fun.
Okay,
so we'll do Unhinged. So next week we'll be doing
Unhinged.
Unhinged. Oh god, and you know what? We'll make them... I'm gonna speed up the review so we're extra manic. We can talk for 2 hours and I'll speed it so it's an hour and a half.
Oh god, give me the key to the editing
Oh,
power.
you have. I've started putting noises in.
I'm keen to listen.
I do background. The movie just plays in the background. Alright, thank you for listening.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Alright guys, thank you for listening. Tell your friends about us. Maybe one day we'll read out your weather. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube.
And if you have a film you'd like us to review, or questions you'd like to ask, email us at askwwwtpodcast@gmail.com.
You can leave us 5 stars on iTunes or any sort of praise anywhere. It helps new listeners find us and our egos grow.
Alternatively, don't do anything and see if we care.
Yep, ball's in your court.
Thanks for listening.
See you next week.